Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Update 1000 Days Challenge. This is day 707, so let's get things started. Alright, so first and foremost, the balance remains the same as what I mentioned, no entering in terms of any trade right now. So what I do see in terms of for our price action wise, I do see potential of a belief rally across the board, especially for US and US equities itself, and also for the crypto market itself. So on the other hand, for China market, like what I mentioned, the long-term bottom is very much likely to be in, as we are seeing a very clear channel towards the upside, and also very strong steady momentum coming upwards. But bear in mind that there could of course be a change in terms of momentum. We do have a very strong swing back towards the downside. But bear in mind, if we actually do forward a very strong Fibonacci level, for example, from the low to the high, at least 0.236 or 0.32 Fibonacci retracement, and then we see a continuation bounce above that, in which case then the bottom for the China equity markets is more or less likely already in for the long-term fall, which is like for the next 1 to 2 years ahead. But of course, there could be unexpected events that could change the sentiment as well. But of course, even with regards to how the potential locking down of the Shanghai or even major cities in China, it doesn't seem to be having that kind of strong impact in the equity market as well, simply because I guess you could look at the flip side, the fact that the people who already have sell or already want to sell already sold, leaving behind people who are holding it more mainly for the long-term wise. As for short sellers themselves, if they do see a lack of selling pressure, there's also the funding rate that would make them, or the margin rate would make them be more likely to actually close their position as well, to lock in the profit if they don't see a continuation of the sell pressure as well. So the next question is, when will this short seller come in? Potentially only when they actually see another gathering of a sell off pressure or rejection off from the upside. So other than that, if you look at the US market wise, it looks to be following very nicely, or I would say crypto market following very nicely in the sense that all three of these market closes right above 20 exponential moving average. And of course, KMAC is actually accumulating very nicely right above 20 exponential moving average by itself. So I do think that the Bitcoin could in fact have a much more decent rally. So looking in terms from the bottom to the high, we'll take approximately, at least from a conservative perspective, we just take approximately from here, which is actually 48K, all the way to the bottom over here, which is 17.9K region itself. Even a decent or bare really rally question bring us even up to this 25K region itself. In which case, if we do see strong rejection wise, we could jolly well still face a very much further downside hit. So I'm not, it's definitely not certain that we are out of the woods, especially how the economy is going, potential further inflation itself, and also the impact in terms of how the cost of the daily goods that we'll be seeing, which is the inflation aspect of it. But of course, really actually downright also affect employment rate itself. There is something yet to be seen. So I myself am not an economist itself. I wouldn't be certain to say what will potentially happen, able to happen. But yeah, so but definitely I do think that from a price action perspective, there's definitely still room for further downside. So I'll stay cautious in the market itself, but bearing in mind like what I mentioned, from the ups to the down, I'm still holding strongly for both my Bitcoin and Ethereum position itself. For the altcoins itself, I'm continuing here and there, but not entirely buying in terms of last position overall. And what I mentioned, it forms less than 20% of my entire remaining crypto portfolio itself. All right, other than that, that's more or less about it. Bear in mind, we do close up very nicely again here with another great bullish candlestick. Volume-wise is also rather decent, and we could have a weak retracement over the weekend itself, and we do break above this high of today itself. After following thereafter in this kind of a pendant, we form somewhat like a U-shaped kind of pattern. When we break out, then we results in a very strong bullish momentum towards the upside. All right, otherwise, that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give your feedbacks and comments below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.